Buenas and half a day. I'd like to call to order this regular board meeting of the Guam Educational Telecommunications Corporation, PBS Guam. Today is Thursday, June 27, 2024. The time is 12:32. Please signify your attendance by stating your name and position as we go around the table. Donovan Brooks, Chair.
Maria Flor Herrero, Treasurer.
Judy Flores, Secretary.
Rosemary Clement.
Member.
Ina Carrillo, GM.
Lorraine Hernandez, Administrative Officer.
Senor.
Joey Franquez, member.
Thank you, Joey.
What time is it?
12:32? Or thereabouts. Okay. You have in front of you the minutes of May 2nd, which was the last time we met.
Does Joey have a copy of this? Yes.
Yeah, Judy, I received it and I reviewed it already. Thank you.
So long ago, I forgot to look stuff. Like this thing about this geofencing. I didn't even remember that. I mean, it's a really long time ago.
Okay. Making a motion to approve.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion to approve the minutes for Thursday, May 2nd, 2024, pending any changes.
My second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Joey. Okay. The General Manager's report. Mrs. Carrillo.
Okay, so in the Department regarding our audit. We were finally able to submit the updated AFR and AFS onto the CPB website on June 6th. The deadline for all licensed stations with CPB was May 14th. On June 10th, we did receive a request for clarification from Jim Goulet, who's our CPB audit financial reviewer. On the 18th, Aaron from EY and Lorraine finished the response. They needed some financial clarification and submitted the comments to CPB. Once that happened, they uploaded the revised the AFR and AFS. And that same day, myself and Rizalito from EY approved the ARF and we submitted it, and we were finally submitted to CPB. So that means it was final on June 18th. Again, the deadline was May 14th. As a result, I wrote a letter to EY regarding the tardiness of their audit and the fines that we're going to have to face because of the late submission. This is now the second year that we've been late. And I'm requesting, in that letter, I requested that EY pay a portion of the fees, or maybe even all of the fees, imposed on us by CPB. We haven't gotten a response from them yet, nor have we have gotten the imposed penalties by CPB. And I think the main reason why I did write the letter, and I've attached a letter here, was because even after getting the OPEB numbers from retirement that they were claiming was the delay of the audit, even after getting those numbers, they were still asking us for samples for another week, which means they weren't done with the audit. And a lot of these samples weren't even related to the 2023, so, I feel that we did everything that we could have done to get the audit done and out as soon as possible. They were requesting for samples. We were sending them samples same day or next day. We did not at all delay this audit, and it is a result of their work. Yes. They know our deadlines, and that's basically it. So I haven't heard back from EY. I haven't heard back from CPB yet as to what the fines are going to be. But as soon as I get those, I would like to forward them to the EY and see what they're going to do about it. But I don't intend to pay any of those fines.
Okay, just a couple of notes. I did have a phone call. First, I wrote to John
Onadera
Onadera at EY,
is a partner.
referencing your letter, which he had not seen. And he called me and we had a conversation. He apologized. He had not been aware of what was going on with the audit, apparently. So he did read your letter. He did promise me that he was going to talk with the other partners. I haven't spoken with him since that time.
When was that?
Must
2
have
weeks
been
ago?
a couple weeks
In
ago.
June, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked you.
I wrote the letter while I
That's
was
the
at
day we
FastPac.
submitted. Because the day we submitted is the day Ina had wrote that letter. So after that, Donovan had called me and I said, we just submitted yesterday, so it's
Sounds
the
like a
6th.
communication problem.
Well, we CC the whole. I was even going to the point where when we would follow up and tell them, hey, our deadline is this day and we cannot extend anymore, as they were asking for extensions, I was CCing their whole team, not the partners, but like 4 or 5 of them that were working
Doing
with
the audit.
doing the audit. I also CC'd OPA and our solicitor at OPA. So, there's no reason they didn't forward that to John, their partner.
You spoke to as a partner?
John Onadera
Yeah.
is a
I think maybe they were trying to handle it.
Communication problem if the
I don't know why. I don't know why they wouldn't do it, but I have sent emails in which I have CC'd, Public Auditor BJ Cruz and his staff, in addition to EY and our staff. So, I don't know. But, every single year they know that you need all these things to, especially especially the retirement information. So why not ask for that when we engage in November or January 1st if you're waiting till the end of the, why do you wait till the, like the month that the audit is due and then blame it on them? This is just poor planning, and I'm tired of being blamed for it. Like they're blaming us. Oh, you guys engaged late, or you're not submitting this, but we're submitting everything they asked for in a timely manner, and they just, what baffles me is the fact that they are auditing, asking for samples from 2020, 2021, when our audit is for 2023. And
I
initially.
spoke to Doris Flores Brooks, the former public auditor, about, just about in general about our audit situation. She was very surprised because she said that, number one, PBS was always one of the first agencies to get the audit out, and that her office, OPA, never had
Any issues?
with that. So I did speak to John. He seemed genuinely concerned. I think you guys should follow up from there,
Yes.
and we should have a clear understanding going forward that, this deadline exists and there cannot be.
We cannot have any delays
Right.
anymore.
Is BJ aware of all this?
He is aware. Yeah.
And I spoke to
not
Jim
doing
Moylan last week, just as a courtesy visit. I popped in his office just to tell him what we were up to, and that if he ever needed to speak of us in Washington, he could speak highly of us because we have good things going on. So if CPB should decide that maybe a fine needs to be discussed, maybe we can have the congressman write a letter in support of us saying that extenuating circumstances, and those things happen.
I think really it's not going to be a fine, but it's going to be a deduction on our
Of
grant.
what our grant is.
They will
Well,
take it
that's
out from our
essentially a fine.
grant.
Penalty.
Yeah.
We get less.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, but it's.
So
But
call
our
it what
fine
you
is
will.
we
Bring it
pay,
on.
but it's not gonna be given, we don't have to pay for it. It just comes out of our grant money,
Yeah.
which it's gonna be lowered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meaning we have less money. So yeah, we just want to avoid
Why don't we
that.
change accountants?
There's only.
Well, it's up for a bid. This year, we keep, it's a bid for 3 years and a year to extend. So this year, we will have a bid going out in July.
Yes,
Yeah.
assuming that the lower bid is Ernst & Young, we're still going to go with them after what they're doing to us?
We kind of
Well,
have to.
you can't, I mean,
but
they're the only,
all
there's
of that
only two auditors in
All of that
Guam.
happens through the
And the
OPA's
OPA is
office.
the one that puts up the bid.
Yes.
So it's whoever turns in the bid to OPA and PBS. So
There
that's,
must be something that can be
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, we
I
could
think the
file a-
issue is.
Or with the governor, the lieutenant governor.
I think the issue is EY, ever since Deloitte and Touche, EY absorbed them or purchased them, whatever happened there, that left us with like little to no options, right? And so EY was getting all of the bids. And the problem is they're auditing almost all of Gov Guam. So they're the only auditors right now, I think.
Well,
I mean, there's probably smaller firms, but they need to submit. They need to submit their intent to propose their intent with proposals, even just to be considered. But I was talking to Lorraine about this in St. Louis, and I was asking her if it's possible that maybe we solicit not just to Guam auditors, but we could put an ad in the Marianas Variety and maybe somebody in the CNMI, an audit
About
firm
Hawaii.
there, or even possibly Hawaii.
Is there something that
I know there's a bunch of.
prevents
I
us?
know there's several banks here that don't even use local auditors. They use auditors in Hawaii. So
well,
I'm.
how the bid goes, OPA puts it out. So whoever we have connection, we can say, can you submit to the OPA? We just have
We have to let them know.
Look outside.
We just
and
can't
see.
do it
Yeah.
once he has already submitted if we can say, hey,
The
we're
bid
going
is
up for
out.
bid maybe sometime this year, but we can't say, okay, look in the paper today. We can't have any
Direct.
involvement in any of the
They
procurement.
have to request
of-
for us.
Yes, so.
They can request, say, you know what, we sold a bid on OPA. Is there
Yeah.
any way you can?
We just can't be
submit
involved in any of it. So unfortunately,
how the bid
OPA will solicit and the lowest bid is the lowest bid.
So who is the one that selects the lowest bid? CPB?
No,
It goes
all of
with the
all of that
OPA
goes to
and
the OPA.
PBS.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you and maybe some other people that is in the same problem, talk to them and say, why don't you extend the bid to people from off island? It doesn't have to be Hawaii or Cinema. It can be the United
Anybody?
States.
Yes.
The bank of one is gone to 2 or 3 different companies in the States until they found a one that they really like, but it's from off
What do we
island.
pay for an audit?
I think we paid $11,000 for this audit. Originally, it was supposed to be something
They're
like
they're the
20.
lowest. Yeah, it was 20, but they
And then
went
we
ahead.
negotiated it down to
You
11.
can negotiate.
Yeah, but if they're going to deduct from our grants and they're going to fine us, whatever monies we save comes in one way, goes the other way.
Well, we've already paid for their
And
services,
it
you know.
gives us a very bad reputation. I mean,
Yeah.
the way they made us look when we had our confirmation hearing.
Yeah, yeah.
mean,
I mean, we're one of the smallest agencies. There's no reason it takes more than half a year to audit us. We're not GPA or DOA dealing with, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars, you know.
Right.
We have 2 at most, you know. It's like,
What
There's not
happened
a lot of
to
places to
Joy
hide
Douche?
anything
They
here.
don't exist anymore, Joy Douche?
No, they closed business.
Oh, really?
Yes.
yeah.
Oh.
Okay, well, that's the status of that. And as soon as I hear back from CPB, I'll be in communications with our auditors and see what can come from that. We did get OPA highlights, a draft of the OPA highlights on June 3rd, and it was published in the paper. We basically received an unmodified or a clean opinion, so that's a good audit for this year that ended September 30th, 2023, from all of our financial statements from independent auditors Ernst & Young. And then I attached the OPA's report as well, so that's here. Basically, we did have a clean audit. There was only one issue, a couple issues, something, you know, and that was relating to the grant management. Our issue is we only have the staff that we have, you know. Our auditors, they want us to have a more lengthy chain of command for the audits, for our grants, right? But we have a grant writer, which is myself and Tina, and Lorraine manages it, and we have 2 accounting, and that's it. So they, you know, we're just saying that,
So, question.
but it's a clean audit.
If it works good, if the formula that you just have described works good for us, why do
It
we
does
have to
work,
hire
but it's
some
just
more?
with limited staff, you know, there's only so much accounting that they can handle, you know? I mean, we have a really tiny staff. So, I mean, if we're really going to start to go out for more grants, more and bigger grants, we really need to consider, once the grants are received, hiring additional support for accounting to help manage those grants, right? Because, you know, in addition to payables and receivables and collections and payroll and stuff, that's what these 3 ladies are doing, just 3. You know, for our whole, and managing, you know, all of our operation costs and stuff like that. So, you know, then I've thrown all the grants, and I don't think really PBS has really been experienced in receiving grants in, like, you know, $1 million, $500,000, and these are grants that we've been able to obtain since I've started, and it has been a little bit of a strain. And I just kind of we recognize that if we are going to continue to go for more grants and be awarded more, especially
get a person.
high value grants, we need more support.
Yeah.
So
We had a grant writer take care, you know, Sonia Subarone, that we hired, and she took care of all the grants and reporting and receiving and that.
yeah,
That's one thing, you know, but, you know, to handle
Yeah.
with us 3, it's kind of
basically
a
I've been
lot.
helping them with that.
Yeah,
and
I've been writing the report for the grant because it's just overwhelmed.
But I think, you know, to this point, I mean, we did we got a clean audit last year. So at the level, we have been able to manage, right? Manage the management of the grants and accounting and reporting and stuff like that. So, we are able to do it now, but I'm saying in the
If it
future,
goes
if we
more.
plan to get more grants, it really is a strain on accounting, and we need more than just, we have Lorraine, Belle, and Cami, so we need more. We need maybe another person,
Yeah.
but that'll come if we get high ticket grants. Yes, we can.
If
Something
we
for the-
need it to get the grants, then we
Yeah.
have to let them pay.
Yeah.
Well, if we get the grant, then we can afford one grant
We can write it in. We'll definitely
Into
write
it.
it into the grants if it's possible, but and find a funding source for that.
Yeah.
But it is I think that might have been a weakness, and me personally thinking that we could just manage ourselves, which we have been able to do, but it has been difficult. And so we're going to take the recommendation of our auditors, and if we do get any more grants, we do definitely need to seriously consider finding someone to assist us with that, which is, definitely makes a lot of sense. So I'm just glad the audit is good. We have a clean audit. It was a headache getting to this point, but it just shows that we are doing something right here. Maybe we're not going the shortest way around it about it, but we are moving forward. And so I've attached OPA highlights for your review. The PBMA conference, Lorraine, Cami, and I were able to attend that conference from May 28th to the 31st in St. Louis. And this was a great conference because not only did it allow us to obtain all the necessary requirements for the grant training, or all the training for the grant for this year's cycle with CPB, but it also offered us, insight on national and local, with other national and local entities, and we were able to collaborate and share, best practices and lessons learned that they've had throughout the year. And this is basically an accounting kind of conference, so there's different ways around filling out the reporting and how you can program monies into different sections to, well, anyway, it's an accounting conference, and, it's always good for us to get together with them, not only to be accredited for the, and certified to receive our grant funding, but also, just to get with the other accounting and management teams and see what they're doing and how we're doing it and how we can best, report the grant and spend the funds. I will leave that. That's on the agenda, the FESPAC thing. Engineering. So we are currently in procurement, not in procurement, but in the purchasing phase of the equipment for our transmitter site. I have actually. The board approved the procurement last meeting. We just needed to, and the equipment is ready to ship. I just need to wire transfer the funds. So I have the packet here ready for Donovan. We just need to wire transfer the funds, and once the funds are received by our vendor, they will ship the equipment to us. So that's where we're at with that for the transmitter site. The generator procurement is basically done for that as well. We did pay a deposit, and the equipment is in production now. And we should, the vendor promises to give us an update on ET delivery by mid next month, as they're still in production. So that's the 200K generators that will be one for the station and one for the transmitter site. Also, engineering continues to report daily to the FCC about our disaster information report system. And that will not be resolved until our transmitter site is back up and we are broadcasting on free TV again. I think we have a whole bunch of production projects. I don't think I really need to go through all of them, but if you'd like to read through that, this is kind of all the production projects we have in the works right now. And that's pretty much it for me.
I mean, these can be on YouTube even after.
All of these are going to be on
I mean,
YouTube.
after-
Yeah, they'll be on our
you missed it
YouTube
that
channel.
day, yeah.
Yes. In addition to the FestPac documentary and the FestPac Passport series, that also is in post-production. I think that's it for me.
Thank you, Ina. Corporation for Public Broadcasting, that's the parent.
So they provide the monies for the emergency generators?
Yes, we after the typhoon, we had Lorraine and I met with them to request for some emergency funding, and they gave us about $80,000 for the generators, and then they also replaced half of the air cons in the station. So the air cons we've already replaced, and the generators we've just ordered last month. So the generators are being built now.
So this, they
So
give
after-
us emergency funds
Yeah.
given, or we have to?
No, if grant.
The grant.
Yeah.
Everybody was in the right place at the right time.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
rolling in the minutes, I say.
Yeah. We were there and they
That's how
felt
we were-
sorry for us.
That's how we were able to waive the
So they gave
the
us-
penalty for our late submission for our
Last year.
audit last year, because we were there in person and we had just gone through a typhoon, and we were explaining to them we have no power or internet or water, and so I mean, unless we're gonna, send them smoke signals about our grant information, there's no, and so we were able to waive those fees that time.
Yeah, so even more important for us to look good in our audits and get things there on time, right? Not, we fully understand that it was kind of out of our control this year, but
Donovan, I wanted to ask about this geofencing. It's under old business. What's the status of that?
what that meant was
Oh, for the YouTube?
just concerning live.
Okay, so what we were doing is we were broadcasting, so everything that aired on TV, including national programming, was being, I just hit my face, but was being automatically streamed on YouTube. We do not have the rights
To put it up.
to broadcast national programming without it being geofenced, right? Which means you have to put a certain setting on your YouTube channel that will only allow people who are physically here on Guam to access the programming, right? So like if you're in Japan, you couldn't watch Guam.
This is you're only talking about YouTube, right?
Yes, national programming on YouTube. So the problem is YouTube doesn't really allow us to freely toggle on and off the geofence. So if we geofence it, it has to be geofenced. If we don't geofence it, then it's open to all. We can't just switch it up. It's like kind of almost a permanent, or it's difficult to switch.
We can't air the PBS
So
programs.
we just decided to pull it. Because otherwise we wouldn't have we wouldn't be able to, things like Liberation or any of our local programming that we want to air to the whole world, right? There's a lot of diaspora off island that are that watch, especially Liberation.
California.
If we geofence, they wouldn't have access anymore. So we just decided, let's not air the national programming on YouTube anymore, and we will just push the app, PBS app. So if you have the PBS app, it automatically geofence, so you'll watch local programming from Guam if you're here. But if you're not, then it'll geofence you to wherever you are. So if you're visiting New York, you're gonna watch the New York PBS channel. So that's what we're doing. It's not really a big
Are
deal.
we gonna watch the one here if we were in New York?
You could on the app, no.
Yeah.
But on YouTube, the way we're doing it now, you can. You go to PBS YouTube and you watch whatever's on YouTube, but we're not live streaming our content anymore on YouTube, unless it's special local programming like Liberation, FestPac stuff. We did all live. Just the local programming we're putting on our YouTube, but not national stuff.
But do these things, like, could that Iowa bike thing from last summer. Is that still on? Or did-
Yeah,
oh,
that's on our YouTube
like-
channel because that's our local programming.
Yeah.
We produced it, so we have the rights. This is all like stemming from copyrights and licensing fees, right? Licensing rights. We don't have the right to watch, like I don't know, Dirty Dancing and air it on our YouTube. We don't have the rights to do that. So same thing with national programming. We have the rights to broadcast, but not to use it in any other way, which is stream.
But
which we were using.
I mean, this goes back a year or two. There was local basketball, the UOG basketball games
That we could air.
during Masterpiece Theater. I mean, you can.
Oh,
So
yes.
we took our local things over national. I'm just saying, I don't. understand that.
So the idea, I mean, so the reason why we broadcasted sports, right, was because we were trying to air live sports, and it just so happened the game was during Masterpiece, and so we had to, we just decided to broadcast the.
Can we
the game.
cache?
Huh?
Can we cache a program and then air it later?
We can.
Did we?
We
But not
we
national.
did not air,
On YouTube.
not national. No, yes, but our local program we can at any time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's straight.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of
I mean, that's the
legal.
good, because I have Passport. I can watch
You can watch it anytime. Yeah.
tons and tons of
Yes.
old Masterpiece Theaters, old everything.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Okay.
all for me. Where is it?
Where are we? We're done with the general manager's report. Thank you very much. Financial report, statement review.
So this is for which month?
That's private funds, and you have October to May.
Okay.
You have the revenue in the top, and then you have the expense in the bottom.
Work better.
Okay, but it says total net profit, 1,145 since October 23 to May 24? That's,
Where? The net profit, in the bottom?
yeah. So it says the funds expenses, 436,000. So where is the money that we received? Because it says here, total,
Money we receive is on the top, the revenue.
what it says, 250.
Because it offsets the revenue and the expense.
No, what it says here. I don't know.
Where are you looking at?
I mean, I'm looking at the net profit, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So it's positive, that's good. Then we have the expenses, 400. Where is the income?
No, the income's on the top.
Oh, but
Here's
the
the income.
is only
One, yes.
183,000.
Yes.
Okay, so if we
That's
have,
what we receive from October to May.
that's the income that we have?
Yes.
Oh, plus the.
So you take the top there is the savings where that's the money that we took from our savings.
Okay,
So the savings plus the revenue that was received
okay,
minus the bottom is all the expense.
okay, all right.
So your net profit for the whole year, well, not the whole year, but from October to May, because if you see in December, we profit 1,154.
Okay. All
Okay?
right.
Yeah, because it's basically, what we did is we add in what we took out from the savings to cover the expense. Right?
This is just private funds also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is private. With
So-
CSG is the same thing.
And a lot of the
Okay, well.
Got it?
At least they didn't lose.
so a lot of our profits, I think that you're looking for is in a different account, right? We keep that separate from our operational budget, and so the only funding you'll see in here is what we need for operations. And that's why Lorraine transfers from our other account the difference for operations.
So the part there where it says the revenue on different categories, different months, those are the money that we receive on a monthly basis.
Okay,
Yeah, so what we need to do is we need to take from our savings to cover the expense.
okay.
Okay, so that's how it is being done, you know, on our monthly base.
All right, so we have two accounts, one for savings and another one for regular?
Like operations.
What, this is private funds,
Yeah.
and then we also have our community service
Oh,
grant.
which is this one.
And then we have the, yeah.
So a community service grant is a different account, you know, we have a different account number. So whatever revenue we receive in our savings, we just take it and transfer for the expense of our community service grant, which is salary and benefits and other, you know, most of the stuff's are salary and benefits for community service grant.
Okay.
So like in the first one, you'll find all the expenses.
I was working on the
expenses.
balance sheets. I was working on the balance sheets, but because it's the end of the fiscal year, there's a lot of adjustments that we're going to be doing to minus, remember those things that you're asking, how come it's negative? Because it's transferred to the next year until the audit is done, then
Then
we
the
do
auditors tell us.
audit adjustments, what
Yeah.
needs to be removed. Because right now, if you look at it, you're gonna have 200,000 that's sitting there that we haven't received, because now the audit is down, we have to go adjust it and remove that 200,000 that we're not gonna receive the money. So there's other things negative. So when I was doing it and Bella and I was talking about it, we need to adjust it before it can be exactly what we have.
Yeah, you also see like equipment that have depreciated. So
Depreciation,
they're showing
yeah.
negatives. You know,
So that's
old
why I didn't want to
equipment.
present the balance sheet now until we just close, you know,
Is
we
that
did
why
the.
you have zero here in equipment purchases and stuff like that?
We didn't purchase anything from CSG. Yeah. If you look at these are expense that we use, so CSG did not pay right now, meant for this fiscal year. We haven't bought anything from the community service grant. But if you look at the private funds, we did purchase equipment, but not much. Just the $30,000, I think it was just the equipment that
The
we're
one we just
purchasing.
purchased for the transmitter.
Yeah. So we have, and we could purchase out of the CSG, or we could purchase the equipment out of the private funds, you know, but it's basically two separate accounts that we have to do it this way.
Okay, so it looks like we also made some money on this. There is some positive figures in here.
What's this come sip with us? I guess we didn't have it, right?
It was an old event.
Yeah.
I haven't done it here since I've started.
Basically with our QuickBooks, whatever's showing is, our QuickBooks right now is like 13 years back. So we cannot delete anything because it'll delete everything from the past. So whatever is brought into, when I upload it to the Excel, it's gonna show everything that we did, the titles of that we're doing. So
right now,
that's how,
I love that kind of stuff with me. I still have
yeah,
Right
old
now-
wine glasses. I can remember it was at top of the Mar, I think.
yes,
Come sit with me.
yeah, come
Pardon
sit
me?
with us.
so right now we're
was
talking
that?
about.
You're part of our distributor.
Right now, we're talking about like maybe in the new fiscal year, opening up a new QuickBooks company so that we can
Yeah.
retire all of this and then start fresh.
Yeah.
But we have to wait till the
Do you have any
fiscal year.
fundraiser plans for the fall?
Yes, we're planning. We're talking about gala again, and then we have a readathon right after the first quarter of the year. So those are the two big things, and then probably like something around Christmas time. But yes, we're right now talking with some talent scouts for gala.
Well, looks like we're doing good without all these fundraisers.
Yeah, I think we are.
But the fundraisers gave us visibility
Yes,
in
yes.
the community and with the people. So if anything, even if we break even, it's good to have some.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what's been kind of we've been able to grow Readathon, right? So that we now can count on a certain amount of money to be raised from Readathon. And then Liberation, we're really stepping up our game in Liberation. I think you'll be pleased with the broadcast product that we're going to produce. I know lots of feedback where, we cut to commercials, and during the commercial is so-and-so's family on a float or doing a presentation, but we have to have commercials. So we're going to
Don't use commercial.
I know, we can't just talk
Don't
for
use
5
commercial
hours,
on our
but so we're going to rectify that. And there's a really cool thing that Sean and Kenji found at but they were talking to somebody at the NAB show, and so you'll see that we'll be able to play the parade like 100% of the time. I won't say anything else, but it's going to be a surprise, and it's going to be really cool. So, trying to solidify some annual events, they've been calling them beacon events at the annual conference, so that, we can really focus on doing our programming. That way we can count on these annual events for a certain amount of fundraising, and then we're not scrambling to have little fundraisers all the time. So that's what we've been trying to do, and I think we're there with Liberation and Readathon, but we just need to beef up our gala now. So.
I'm just saying that Guam Women's Club Halloween is at the Hyatt on October 26th. I'm just, we have to be, I know a long, long time ago, I don't know if you knew who Dottie Moore was. Her husband was the head of St. John's School. She was the head of some big women's club for all of them. To have like a calendar for all these clubs, so you don't repeat, you don't have parties in the same week
Especially
or
at the end
month.
of year.
So that's going to be our September thing. October rather.
Try to have it in other hotels other than the Hilton, because the Hilton was
Yeah, Hilton is too small.
Yeah, it
And we
was.
quickly outgrew the Hilton. I thought PBS we would have smaller galas, but I was very surprised last time where there was not even walking room.
I think because the entertainment we had,
Entertainment,
that's
Yeah.
really
Oh
why.
yeah, that was really crowded.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was last minute that everybody started buying, tickets.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we have it like that, it definitely have to go to
Bigger
another.
venue, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, one thing at the Hyatt, when we have big galas at the Hyatt, the food's outside in that foyer
Oh yeah.
front thing.
Yeah.
So there's no food in where people are
Inside.
sitting,
Yeah.
which is better than you don't have so much congestion.
The Dusit is good because of parking. It has a lot of
Yeah.
parking.
Yeah.
And
What?
there's so
yeah.
many rooms in the
Yeah.
Dusit.
And it's big
Hilton,
too.
I hate the parking at the Hilton.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we're talking the
The
Dusit
Dusit
a
is
good
big.
place. I
What?
prefer the Dusit to Hyatt.
Oh, Yeah. Oh, I hate the deuce too. I hate that inside part. I always get lost in there.
Keep going up.
Yeah, I mean, there's all these
The
different.
parking.
There's when you get off at some of these restaurants, and then
You should
there's.
just take a picture before you.
When you enter.
You just go to the fifth floor. From there, just take the elevator up and that's it. I mean,
Just call me and I will escort
You'll go-
you.
Just
You
get
can be the
dropped.
policeman or the guide.
Get dropped. That's easier.
Okay, where were we? Please.
okay, so I guess the financial review is, so far, these numbers are okay. I don't have anything to question this time.
Okay. Joey, you good? Senor? Thank you, sir.
Are you standing? Are you getting tired? Are you standing or sitting?
Sitting, he's sitting.
No, I mean, I don't know that. I thought he couldn't sit long. Maybe he can't stand long.
Okay, moving on. We didn't list any old business, so that means we can't bring anything up as far as I remember. There were a couple things I wanted to talk about. One was
It's too much.
the time capsule and what we're going to put in it,
Time
but
capsule.
We're going to have a time capsule?
yeah, but we can't talk about it at this meeting because I didn't put it on the agenda. But after the meeting, we can have an informal discussion about
Actually,
that if you would like. I'll be happy to stick around.
Okay.
So we have to jump to new business.
Wait, regarding the old business, so when is the construction going to start for the?
yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
I'm waiting for, right now we're waiting for outer loop. They have we need the not MOU, the contract with the contractor through DPW. We need that to go through, so we're waiting.
That has been approved already.
It's already been drawn.
Contractor
It's just
and everything.
in the process of getting signed somewhere. So as soon as we get that, then we can start.
So realistically, when do you think something will actually start?
Before the end of the fiscal year.
Oh,
September.
so by
around
September.
Before
Yeah,
there.
okay.
In the next couple months,
Okay.
1 or 2. So, but soon. It's just.
Nothing's fast, right?
Yeah.
So just a clarification. If it's not on the agenda, can we talk about it?
On the, yes.
Not as new business.
Yeah.
When it's
It-
old business?
I think so.
It's old business if it's on her, if you guys going to talk about it, it's in her report.
If we
And it was on my report
It's
last
on the
meeting.
report,
So
and
if
it's
we
also in
remember
the
that we talked
minutes.
about
We could talk
before,
about
that's
it.
old business, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just not new
But you
business that
guys are not
requires
going to do
action.
any action.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's in her report and it's on the minutes,
Okay,
yes.
so I just want to jump back then to the time capsule, which we have talked about before. Just to refresh your memory, we talked about it in the last meeting, I think, and it was the idea of getting a time capsule, they make them, and then putting it in the new construction somewhere.
Sure.
And inside, we would put things of some import. So that's the point I just want to make, is that I would like to have us take a lot of thought about what goes into this thing. Yeah, they're going to open it in 50 years or whatever. But, I just want to ask that we put a lot of thought into what goes in there. And not only thought, about what's traditional and what's cultural, but what's going to be decipherable in 50 or 60 years, right?
So nothing electronic, because it's
That's
going to
what
be
I'm thinking.
obsolete. Yeah,
That's
it's going
what
to
I'm
have to be
thinking.
written stuff.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Got to be hard copy.
Photos or,
Or you'll have to put like for instance, if it's a
You mean a machine to read it? Like
Thumb
a,
drive.
cassette, you probably have to put the DVR or DVD or whatever thing in, you
Yeah.
know.
thumb drive.
Yeah, I don't know about them.
So we don't.
I really
We
think
don't
it's
have to put everything in the kitchen sink. We just need to find some cool things.
Yeah. No, I agree,
that
but I mean, I
reflect
think
the
it has to
island
be-
and the station and.
can't be anything electronic, because you know damn well it's going to be obsolete.
gonna be-
you know.
Or it might get wiped somehow. you know. So, anyway, that's something that
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
No,
you to
no,
consider.
I agree.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Food for thought.
Anything else on that? Okay. Where are we on passport? The PBS passport?
I think John has been communicating with them, and the back office part of Passport where we are uploading like it's the accounting side where we upload like available accounts that can have Passport or has subscribed and communicating to them. I think that stuff is done, but John has to be trained. So he needs to be trained, and then development needs to be trained
Okay,
before they launch it.
okay. I'm just looking forward to it, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I have. New business.
We have to purchase something?
And then
Do we have to
Van?
purchase something?
It's
What is
part
it?
reimbursement, so you spend more than,
Yeah, well, there was I have it here. There were a couple things that we weren't able to do beforehand because it was like the rent-a-cars. So there was 2 vans that we had rented. Originally, the budget was for $2,600. It ended up to be, or $2,400. It ended up to be $2,800 because when we went to check out the vans, we needed to add some services like insurance. So we added insurance, and then we had to pay for each driver that wasn't on like the thrifty website. So those were, and the taxes also. So those were the 280461. This one?
It's in your,
It was in your
Packet.
report.
28.
yeah.
Yeah. It looks like this.
This one?
Yeah.
So the van rental was 280461, and that was for the 3rd to the 18th, 15 days for two 7-passenger, 8-passenger vans. Also, the day we returned the vans, we needed to fill up their tanks. So we got electric vans, which was cool because we didn't have to gas the whole time. Yeah, it was like electric hybrid. So we had electric and gas. So it was only $50 each to gas up before we returned the vehicles. And then the next items were our parking fees. Like every time we went to the convention center, we had to pay a parking fee. There were more than these because we went every day, but these are the receipts that I had because, well, anyway. These are
So
the
these
receipts.
vans, were you all in the same hotel or?
We were in the hotel, but there were 7 of us, so we needed 2 vans because we had 7 of us and
Different area.
a trunk load of equipment. With
So you went all together for the day?
some days we did, some days we separated because like the documentary team had to go like to Polynesian Cultural Center while we went to the convention center, or there were 2 different museums and a bunch
Well,
of.
then it needed more transportation then, right? I mean, if some.
Well, we only had a certain amount of drivers that were willing to drive in Hawaii because I can't drive there. And so we split up to two vans was fine. Yeah. So there's some parking fees, receipts, and then we had a few meetings. So we had a total of 11. Well, actually, let's say 12 in the media delegation. It consisted of the 7 of us plus 5 from Thrive Media. That did a bunch of social, and then we had Manny Crisostomo who did some still photography. So we had to meet several times. I mean, our team, we tried to meet, at the hotel or whatever, but there were times where we had to meet all together, and so we did it over dinner or breakfast or something, and so those are just receipts for those. So total reimbursements, $41.44.88. And basically consists of parking, the vans, gas, and some meetings that we had.
So
One meeting I had with Kaha and Fest.
Extra expenditures.
Yes. So we had 4 big staff meetings, and then one meeting we had with Kaha and the FestPac committee. And that was not with our staff, that was with me and them. So.
okay, so what is this fiscal year 204 request 351? This is for,
Oh, that's the next item.
So we need a motion, right?
For this.
For the
4,000?
reimbursement.
So this is in addition to the monies that we already approved?
Well, we did approve the van. We did approve the van, but we didn't pay for it yet. I just reserved, like when you rent a car, you just reserve it and then you pay it when you're done. So that was the actual receipt for the van, which was approved at $2,400, but it ended up to be $2,800 with, insurance and
Okay.
individual driver fees. So it's $2,800. And then these are just like not random, but these are the receipts,
Expenses, parking,
expenses,
stuff like that.
the gas for the return of the car, the parking the parking fees, and
Okay, so
Yeah.
about a little bit of the $2,000 more.
yeah.
Is there a request for that or?
I think it just needs a reimbursement approval, right? Board approval.
Yeah, then we'll do appeal.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Aina, can I just step in here real quick? Is there anything that reflects accommodations for hotels that you guys?
No.
are
Already done.
setting?
No, because the FESPAC committee paid for all of our accommodations. So,
The per diem was given.
and then there was per diem given for meals and incidentals. So the hotel portion we are not paying for, which was about, with taxes, a little bit over 100 something a day, and we had a total of, including the Thrive guy. Well, not them, but we had 4 rooms. 1, 2, 3,
So
4 rooms.
am I assuming that, for example, on the last 3 line items there with regard to staff meetings, that those were inclusive of the per diem that you received for that?
No, it was that wasn't included in the per diem because they were no, it wasn't included.
Okay. I just wondered if that was, if that per diem was made for food and lodging as well, that was covered for at least some of these. But when you put it in the context of meetings,
Yeah.
that they would be
We really
separate-
did-
a separate cost.
We really did have to meet because every day the schedule was changing and we needed to meet because we needed to plan out exactly where we were going, what content we were getting, how much content you were getting, and deadlines. So that was basically so the staff meetings we had a meeting. Yeah, and then the ones with the Thrive with Thrive. We had to meet with them also because they had social deliverables. And, there was, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 venues, right? The 2 hotels, 2 museums, the Polynesian Culture Center, the Memorial Park where the seafarers were, and the convention center. And some of these venues are 2 hours away, so it was necessary that we meet in that manner. Yeah, otherwise it was
I just wanted, thank you for that
uh,
point of clarification. I just
yeah.
wanted to know with regard specifically about the per diem and how that would include meals in the process. But in these cases where you are calling this as a PBS
I
meeting.
think they were
that
working
was-
meetings, yeah.
That was outside, that was outside of their normal routine of being there and being a part of the FESPAC. But
Yeah.
if that's included already, thank you. And I just needed to get clarification on that. Thank you.
But you made a good point, though. So everyone got a per diem of 100 plus a day, right? And that includes meals.
Yeah.
So these places where you meet, you also have a meal.
Yes.
restaurant.
So you mean you got the per diem and you also want to be reimbursed for these meals?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they met 10 days? You were there 10 days?
We were there for 15 days, and to me, it was necessary to meet. If the staff had their option, they would go to the ABC store and buy 2 musubis because it was $4. But I needed to meet with them all together because we needed to discuss what our plan was. There were 7 venues across the island of Hawaii that we had to cover, and we were covering all different mediums. And so a lot of these were working meetings. Okay, Josie, what do you have? When are your stories done? When are you going to produce it? We need to upload it to the drive to get it to, And then we're also working with guys on Guam, which we were doing I don't know. I felt like it was necessary to have these meetings. You know, at some point we had to meet with the Thrive guys when they arrived so that we could just wrap our heads around the fact that there was no schedule, and we all had to do our best to talk to our friends at each delegation, get the schedules, and like figure out what a game plan was, because it was so hectic in Hawaii, because the Hawaii delegation didn't have a master schedule for anybody. And so we really had to do it on our own. There was also a media hub where we were supposed to be able to set down, you know, our campgrounds where we could edit, and, you know, like everybody could be on the floor and that we could receive information. They could give us stock video, stock photos. But then when it came time to getting stock videos and photos, they didn't want to release the rights. So we couldn't use the photos that they were supposed to give us to minimize the staff that we brought. And then there was no internet. Like, it was the convention internet that was shared with everyone who came to the convention, so we couldn't even send an email out. Like, that's how slow the internet was. So there was a lot of hiccups, and that's why we had to have these meetings, because we were like, we need to get our shit together now and figure it out. And that kind of thing happened frequently as we were there. We tried to just adapt and do what we could.
So
So I think it was necessary.
Do we need to vote?
I just wanted to just make note here that I understand the working process and the required meetings with the staff were included, and that if that happens and it's in a venue that requires for you to be able to have meals and whatnot, I'm totally understanding of all of that. And I just wanted to say I support the process of the 3 last meetings having to have been outside of the per diem for food.
Working meeting.
So I totally understand that, and I'm supportive of it, and I want to just say that I would vote to approve of this as
Yeah.
as a
And, you know, a lot of-
required, reimbursement.
But the hotels and the per diem were paid for by the government?
No, the hotel was paid for by
By us.
the hotel was paid for by the FestPac committee. You know, a lot of these restaurants that we went to, I mean, for meetings, were like hole in the wall, like Golden Sea kind of. I mean, we weren't being extravagant at all. We went to Zippy's, you know, which is like King's,
Doesn't
right?
look like you went to
Yeah,
fancy
I know.
We
places.
went to a place that had internet where we could meet, and
There
you
was
know.
like 7 of you, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of a lot, right? You're a couple $100, but you know, you have to imagine like food in Hawaii is like at least $25, and there's a whole bunch of us, and a lot of time we're just having coffee and breakfast, you know, like, but you know, we were trying, when we did meet, I was very conscious of not trying to go to, I mean, like Morton Steakhouse or anything, but you know,
What?
it was Zippy's, and it was a fall place, and you know, I
But
wish.
I think it's a working meeting, you know, and
Yeah.
the GM's
Oh,
calling
okay,
it.
These were, I
think
felt
we're
like
getting
these
to
were
the-
necessary.
I
We
think
got the point.
I think we have a consensus. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
everybody's-
I think
I mean,
So-
we couldn't meet it though. I mean, if you imagine, we probably stayed in a room like this big. I mean, and we had 3 guys in one room. Like, even
the hotel? The
yes,
hotel, it was small?
very cramped. It was a small place, but even as
to
initially we
share.
checked out the space, and I tried to go to Dawn's room, which is one of the bigger rooms. You know, it was like we couldn't have
I
our
think we
7
get it.
people meet there. There's underwear hanging all over the place. You know,
Yeah.
like it just, you know, we had.
Okay, let's
Had
let's
to.
get to the motion.
Okay.
On
Thank
that
you.
note, I would like to make a motion to approve for the
Reimbursement.
reimbursement in the amount of $4,144.88 for FestPac reimbursement.
To Ina.
Okay, I second that motion.
So just to clarify, the reimbursement is made to Ina?
Yeah, I just put everything on my card.
Okay. Okay, fine. It's not noted here, but,
Oh, sorry about that.
so we have a motion on the floor and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
All right, and then the second
Anna, you're getting so many points, huh?
credit, not really.
I'm sorry, but who seconded?
I did.
You did? Okay,
Just
Joey
kidding.
We'll be happy to use your card.
Okay,
Yeah,
now we're
Yeah.
I know.
and Mary Flora.
Send that
I know
platinum
you
card
got-
over.
I know you got good credit.
I do, that's what I'm saying, I
I'll be like
know.
900.
Okay.
So our next item is the transmitter. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's the on-the-go
trailer.
broadcast trailer. basically, here I have a little bit of a thing here.
There's a big difference in these prices, 5,000, 15,000, and 10,000.
Yes. Basically, they have to build the whole thing for us. And they're just three, we found all these companies when we went to NAB. But really, this is to replace and upgrade our on-the-go broadcast van. We're going to, instead of have a van, we're going to have a trailer. This is kind of like the modern, it's more modern now instead of a big giant
So
van.
these are not vehicles, these are just things you're attaching
No,
to?
so we're going to do away with the on-the-go van, right? Because the engine's bad and it's 30 years old and it's
obsolete.
just falling
There's-
apart.
Yeah.
And we're going to get a trailer. We wanted to get a van, which is much bigger, but it's also like upwards of $1 million. So we're
Really?
going to downscale to a trailer, which could do basically the same thing, if not better, than what our van is doing now. The only thing is we're gonna have to rent a truck to move it because we need to have like a 1-ton truck. But if we rent a truck at $100 or $200 a ton, per instance, it's still cheaper than spending $100,000 on a truck that will sit in the front of the parking lot. So I think I was doing the cost analysis. It just makes more sense to get the trailer. It's in our budget. So the budget for the on-the-go broadcast trailer is going to come from ARP funds. So I don't know if you remember in your confirmation hearing, one of the senators brought up what the plan was.
Not to be mentioned.
What the plan was with the balance of the ARP funding. And this was the plan, was to upgrade the on-the-go vehicle. So we have a balance of $97,000, and you could see that we are still within budget. Is there a page 2 to this? Yes, I'm sorry, there is a page 2. I didn't. So anyway.
How much is together?
So the first one, Allied Broadcast Group, is $86,194. The second one for Gerling and Associates is $187,635.20. And then the third one is TV Pro Gear, which is $123,475.
So how much is Allied?
So we have a $97,000 budget. We'd like to go with the first one, Allied Broadcast Group, at $86,194, and that will still leave us with a little bit of a cushion for shipping. We didn't include the shipping because the thing needs to be built first, and they need weight and all that stuff. But I also need to just double check with the grant to see if shipping would be an allowable expense.
Yeah.
So if it isn't, then we'd have to pay the shipping. But if not, then there is a little bit of a padding here for shipping, which I'm hoping the grant will just pay for.
China?
I don't understand this total.
I can just make a
She
copy
gave-
real quick.
It's just,
China?
Yes,
I
sir.
have a question. I know with regards to the line items here, I don't see anything yet referencing here, and I'm assuming that this trailer is going to be able to contain all of this equipment and
Yes.
and that they'll be ready and operational when it's taken to the site
Oh, yes.
and it's plugged in. I don't see anything here that reflects a cooling system for this operation.
It does come
for
with-
for the system itself. Is that in a separate page?
It's actually on the quote with all of the
I think I'm
Specs.
missing a page.
specs. Yes, Lorena's going to go copy it right now.
I didn't,
Yeah, I don't see totals.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have a
HVAC, it says aircon 2 times 12,000 BTU mini splits. So it will be in the, so basically the trailer is going to be outfitted to go with racks and aircon and flooring and soundproofing. The only thing it won't have is, our broadcast equipment, which we need to put in. But it would be, it's not just a regular trailer. It's going to be outfitted with the proper racking system and it'll be ready to go.
This is something like a
after we install
U-Haul.
our equipment.
this is something like a U-Haul
Okay, I
thing.
just wanted to know.
Yes.
I
Just the
didn't
inside
see
is all the expensive
I didn't see the HVAC system being included in my listing here. so,
Yes. Oh, no, it's
thank
in
you
here.
for that clarification.
Yes.
Okay, I have a question. How can such a big difference in price from the broadcast trailer? 56,400 from Ally and Gerling 179,000.
It's just a matter of brand. It's just a matter of brand. I have here, this is the RFQ. It's really small, but you could see it almost is like a food truck. I don't know if you want to take a look at some of the quotes. You could see what the quotes were, but it really is just a matter of their company. We sent them the specs, and we want it built out exactly to our specs. So they're making the exact same thing, but
So, girl-
maybe their labors are different. Maybe their
This is the spec?
materials are
This is
different.
what they're going to-
This is the specs here, but it's
what-
very tiny. That's the actual quote. But it's very tiny.
So,
Is that a picture of it?
It looks like
It's a sample.
Oh.
it's a sample, but it's okay.
kind of looks like a food truck.
So basically, they made this basically on your specs. They say, we'll
Yes.
customize and it will look like this.
So everybody's making the same thing.
Now, what about the other ones? Do they also, the other ones also send?
I keep thinking of Philip Gerling at Nissan. I'm sure that's not the same. Gerling and Associates, because Philip left. I don't know if he had anything to do with Nissan.
From AK.
I know him. Oh,
My fellow board members, if you don't mind, if it be possible for me to excuse myself from our meeting at this time?
Sean,
Yeah,
can you,
Joey, we still have a quorum.
Yeah.
Sean, can you come
Okay.
in?
take care, Joey.
Thank you, Joe.
Okay, Joey.
Good to see you.
You know what,
Take care.
let's
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
So you guys be well.
I'm gonna have Sean come in because Sean is the one who actually did the procurement for this, and he's the expert in this thing, broadcasting.
So what, you said our van is broken, so this is gonna be attached to some other vehicle?
It's gonna have to be towed, or we need to hitch it onto a truck or some kind of.
The GMC
vehicle.
can't pull it?
No, we need to have a 1 ton or what is it? 1 ton or 2 ton? It needs to be like a F250.
Two 1-ton air conditioners.
But we need a F250 or
Sorry.
higher.
The
like,
car, the vehicle.
For the vehicle, so given the weight rating of the trailer itself, I believe the trailer we're getting is somewhere around 7,000 or 10,000 pounds. I've done the research on the vehicles that it needs to pull. You need something equivalent to about an F250.
I have no idea what an F-250
It's a
is.
big,
It's a big
It's
truck.
a really big truck.
It's the
Do we have a big truck?
We have a truck, but our truck is below the capacity that can go.
So how are we gonna pull it?
We're just gonna rent a truck.
Oh,
And
I
then
see
return it.
I see what you're talking about. Just,
Even if we did
For an
that
event.
like twice a month, you know, it would still be cheaper
Yeah.
over 5 years than buying a truck. So like, why do we need to
do
buy
we
a
have
truck?
a driver that can drive a big truck?
These guys can, and we have some
The truck
chauffeurs.
We're going to hire or rent is going to pull the trailer to wherever it needs to be.
It needs to go,
I
yeah.
see, that's much better. We don't need.
Do you
to-
have a picture of
we don't
something
need
like
to,
that?
Yes, I can actually pull up
take care of
the-
truck.
I'm just
You buy
kinda
the
curious.
truck that you only use it once a
Yeah,
month and then you
couple
have to-
I mean, this sounds like a
Yeah.
pretty big deal.
okay, let's one at a time, please.
The trailer from Allied.
Oh my God, it's
It's
gigantic.
big.
It's a 16-foot trailer.
Oh,
Oh,
oh my
And
God.
it's beautiful inside.
okay, okay.
You've been inside one of
Yeah,
them?
we went inside
So we were
at
inside one
NAB.
at NAB.
Oh,
And this is covered by the grants.
so this is big.
Okay, so let us vote. Do we need to vote?
Yes.
Okay.
You have to
Can,
approve
can
it.
I ask, Sean,
Yes.
just the differences in the trailer? Is there any significant difference?
Oh, between the different quotes?
Because it's high
Yeah.
and different.
Okay. So the specs are identical. So when we sent out the quotes to all of the vendors, we got a response. They all are within the same range of specs. There are minor differences between them because some people can do some things and not others, but for the most part, they're identical in function as far as what we need and to our specs.
Durability?
Durability wise, I believe they should all be within the same range. Historically, if we're just talking historically, Girling was the manufacturer who made our current OB van. So, but even then, like the way these are built nowadays, they're fairly standard. So it's
These prices
any
are
of
so
these
different.
manufacturers should be able to fulfill it. And
Is there something I can show them inside?
yeah, there's all these pictures if you want to just.
And you like this Allied broadcast best?
Well, it's not so much like it's Yeah, it's the lowest quote, and it fulfills all the needs that we specified on the quotes.
I mean, obviously, I know nothing about these electronic things, but
Yes.
one's twice as much as the other. That's why I'm wondering, like,
Yeah.
how do we know
most
the
we
quality?
can say as far as that is, I think it's just down to like how the individual companies manufacture it. Like some may have to order, like it may be something they do all the time, and some they may have to do some special work that it's not.
I mean, it's a
normally-
very big difference in prices.
Yeah.
That's why, I mean,
Girling is especially known, and they are the highest ones. They're especially known for doing some quite elaborate setups. So they may just be one of the like higher price vendors. Again, this is just
Yeah.
off of what I know of them. They could just be used to dealing with more expensive projects, so that's why they have something like that.
And you have about the same amount of floor space
They should all have around the same amount of floor space because we requested.
compared to our van.
Actually, from working floor space, it will have more. So the quote we asked for was for a working space for 6 individuals in the trailer.
really?
Yes. So
Yeah, this thing's way bigger than I
It's way
imagined.
bigger than what we,
yeah,
Yeah.
for working space, it will be larger than the van that we currently have.
Okay.
so like you walk in here and you can see that's, yeah, I mean, it's really nice what we've seen.
Yeah.
So nice we can sleep over.
You probably could.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Sorry.
Any more questions? Anybody have any more questions? No?
I'm overwhelmed by the whole thing because it seems so.
Well, just know that it's grant money, so.
No, I mean, just the whole idea of it seems so impressive.
It will be. It will be. I mean,
it
this is what
looks- I
some.
can't, I was
some
not
news-
picturing that picture at all.
Some news outlets. This is what they use, right? The smaller guys. Yeah, like on-the-go broadcast. So.
So,
Yeah, I like the idea of the trailer versus powered vehicle, because if engines go bad,
Yeah.
you have a problem. You can't move your trailer. But, you know, this, you always have an option of being able to move it, so.
Yeah, and we really don't need to buy a truck, you know, like, because at first at NAB we were like, oh gosh, it's gonna be way too expensive because we need to spend $100 grand on a truck. But then as I was doing the numbers, we really don't need to.
No, you made
You know,
a good call.
if we go on the go even 3 times a month, which is probably highly unlikely, we still save money
But the maintenance is going to
on
be
a
very
vehicle.
high.
Yeah, it
You
is.
have to have a place where you can keep
Yeah,
it.
it's
Even
like
if you
a-
can keep it in the outside.
it's like having 2 babies instead of 1.
Protected,
Yeah.
so, and just to use it 2 or 3 times a month at the most, I think it's better this way. Yep.
Yeah.
So you need a
Emotion?
motion
Motion
to, okay, I'd like to make a motion to accept the recommended quotation of $86,194 with Allied Broadcast Group.
Is that it?
I think that's it.
Yeah, I second the motion.
Got everything? Is that everything, Ina?
Yes.
Okay. Motion and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay.
I was wondering if we could fit it inside a shipping container, but I guess the answer is no.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, what did you say?
a shipping.
I was wondering if we could ship it out in a container,
Oh,
but it looks to be a little bit too big.
I mean, maybe in the. I don't think it's. I think it's just as wide as a container. But you know, these guys, they are. Oh, it's 8, and the container is 10. Oh, it might
No,
cost.
containers are 8.
Well,
And the
these
height.
guys have. They
Aren't there different
are going
size
to be able to
containers?
assist us in. Right, Sean, with the shipping, they're going to be able to assist us in getting it shipped over.
Yes, I was talking with all the vendors when we were dealing with them, and Allied has experience shipping overseas. They were telling us of how they just shipped something to, I believe it was
Africa.
Africa, yeah, just a month prior to that.
Okay, I'm excited.
is this stuff Is this stuff made in China or is
No, these are U.S. companies.
US.
I mean, it seems sort of like a boutique industry. I mean, how many people have these? I mean, obviously television companies, but still, it's not something.
Okay, we're done with that one? Great.
Wow.
Forward to seeing it. On the go. Can we use that phrase?
Yeah, we can.
Get sued for trademark infringement some kind of way.
Okay, so discussions.
Announcements, discussions. How was your trip, Judy?
Overwhelming,
Was it?
exhausting.
Where did you go?
No, to the festival.
She's a
Oh,
Festpac.
you went to Festpac too. Oh my gosh.
It was a working, I couldn't attend everything. Nobody could. It was just, they said there were over 200 activities
Yeah,
to go to.
it was just too much.
It was just too big.
All happening at the same time, and it was hard. It was hard.
You went with us?
No, I went with Kaha, with the Festpac group. Yeah, I was on the organizing
She's
committee.
the big boss over there.
No, not really, no.
My sister-in-law was there and her husband, and they attended several things. It's funny because he sent us a family chat. The video of the Rapa Nui Island, you know, that was
Easter
fun. I remember 4 years ago, so they were everybody here.
Over
like,
here,
oh.
yeah.
That was fun.
Isn't your daughter? Your daughter's a dancer, Maria.
Yeah, my daughter's a
I've seen her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she go?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
she
saw her.
went, yeah.
I saw her.
The literary committee was really busy, and they did a great job.
But it sounds like these things were going on, but like no one was watching them because there were so
It's
many
just
of them.
too
They were all over the place,
Well, you
right?
know what? Sandy was talking about it, my daughter, and she said, I finally realized it's not for the audience. It's for the Festpac delegates themselves to share.
Yeah, I guess.
So,
I only saw what was sent to me by my daughter and my sister-in-law. Because if you're going to get in the, you have to get to YouTube or you have to get. And national television didn't really
Next meeting?
focus much on it.
that's what I'm trying to look
Yeah, the
for.
EC,
Yeah, I'm. I gotta go.
yeah,
I've got like so many things to do.
No, but it's getting better and bigger, right?
it looks like.
Bigger is not better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds. That's what it sounds like.
More
That was just
numbers.
point.
200 events. I mean,
And there has been talk, I went with Monica to one meeting, and there is talk from the veterans who have gone from the beginning, who have helped organize. They said they need to explore different options so that small countries can also host. So there's going to be changes because bigger is not better.
Yeah.
This Festpac was very commercialized, I think, modern, very modern, and it was very expensive for a lot of delegates. A lot of the different countries, like they come from, YAP wasn't there, but like FSM, some of the smaller
Majuro
ones,
there?
Tuvalu, Wallis and Fitz-Una, all these little countries that, they don't have financial resources like
Yeah.
us, and so
Yeah.
spending $25 on a meal is just, that might be what they make in a week, or a few days, right? So it really was not, Hawaii was not affordable for everyone. So thank God there was the dorms. But our people in Guam, they checked into the dorms and there was no aircon and there was nothing but a bed, right, a mattress, and they all had to, I heard they went to Target and bought out all the fans.
Yeah.
who was
it
this?
was-
Who had to stay in the
At
dorm?
the UH dorms, all the
Everybody stayed in
delegations.
the dorms.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just, like a
What,
couple
the
small windows.
But
UA?
I've been to Festpacks where we were on mattresses
On the floor.
in the community center. So we were treated. As far as beds, we all had beds. And,
Well, even when they came to Guam, right?
Yeah.
The cushion, they had, good.
yeah,
Holding,
Yeah, because afterwards they were giving it away.
yeah, that's normal, yeah.
they were good quality too.
I got
one.
two. Yeah.
But that's normal.
know,
But
that's
but the
very-
magic that happens, and when I first started going, I was involved in a lot of that. But the last few, I just go to sleep. I don't do the magic, and that's the dorms or wherever they're hanging out. And we had some of our delegates cooking for their neighbors. Like we were very close to PNG, which was a huge delegation. And they had
Papua New Guinea?
250 delegates, I think. And this one of our delegates, he'd take a big pot and he'd just cook, rice and something, and they'd sing, and they really bonded in the dorms. And that's the magic of that exchange.
That's,
Yeah, that was good.
okay, next
Okay.
meeting.
I gotta go.
Next meeting.
So Liberation is the week of where we should have our meeting, but I think our guys are going to be really busy that Thursday, Wednesday, that whole week, because they'll be setting up at the parade, and there's a lot of things.
23rd is,
Excuse me,
Yeah.
are we having
is
a
it
second
23rd
session?
in Liberation or 24th?
No.
21st, but it's
Okay,
so can we meet maybe the week after,
Sure.
the 25th?
25th,
so
26th.
July,
It's Thursday, the 25th.
July 25th.
Thursday, the 25th, yeah.
25th, yeah.
Okay, and I already knows I'm not gonna be here, so,
22nd is the holiday, then the 23rd is our off.
12:30, right?
What?
It's on the 21st. 21st is a Sunday. 22nd is a holiday. 23rd is our off day for the 21st.
dates, 30.
Are we all right?
So
25th? There's no.
25th, we have enough time to.
I'm gonna be in the East Coast. It's gonna
I'll
really
prep
be hard for me
before this.
to do this.
So 25th.
Okay, well, if you can.
Then it'll be August.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna
Fine,
be
if you
like
can.
1 o'clock in the morning or something.
Yeah.
And I'm a guest
Okay.
at someone else's house.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we can do that.
I mean, I can try. But if it's 12:30
Yeah, no
here, minus 14
10:30.
hours,
10 p.m.
10
Oh, wait,
p.m.
14 hours?
Yeah, if I'm at my son-in-law's house, I might be able to do it.
Okay, well, that'd be good if you can.
Yeah.
So, do we have a date?
But it's the only time.
25th?
25th? You gonna be able to make it?
Oh, I'm sorry, the 25th. When I put it. Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, if we
Okay,
could, we'll
so
come
be it.
Wednesday and then take our Friday off.
12:30,
Yeah.
July 25. And then we have actually a backup day, right? No, we don't. Oh, sorry.
There will be
August
no,
1st?
yeah.
There's
there
no
will
backup.
Be no backup day. That would be.
Yeah, I will be
Well,
back
if
August 1st.
Joey can make it, then
quorum.
Rosemary, then we're good with the 4.
Okay.
First. Thursday, too.
Alrighty then.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
Okay. I move to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Time is
Okay, everyone, have a good time.
1:58.
You have a good trip.
I hope so. I hate traveling.